Okay, welcome along. So today we're just having a quick look at this opportunity to enter to do some extracurricular science. Um, so we have a big company, a huge company called BD Medical, and they're all over the world, but they have a research plant, pure research plant in Limerick in Castletroy. So they're very kindly and they're investing in STEM in schools. So they put up €10,000 prize money plus some other money as well. You've got 10,000 for the winning school and two 5,000s for the runners up, and then smaller amounts. So the person at the level I was recipient last year of a one of those smaller amounts. That was, at least I was the supporting teacher for a team that did some research and onto the effect of male HPV vaccination. Okay, so that just gives you a background. Now there's a closing date coming at us here, but we'll get that's easy to achieve. You've shown great interest, and we'll finalise what the team is and what we're doing. But we've got 16 days to get that in. I might just send the paperwork in for you. And then after it's in, we have until after Christmas sometime to finish it. When is that? February 19th. So we'd have over the Christmas break, leading into the Christmas, you have loads of time to work on it. Well, I say loads of time, but it's a big project. Well, the ambition that I'd have for you would be a big project. You'll learn coding, you'll learn spreadsheets. Most importantly, you might do a report, even though you need to send it in as a video. But it would be nice to do a proper typeset report. Okay, I think I'll share that link with you anyway, and you can search that yourself. In case you have something smart with you there, you can have a quick look at that and access it. Okay. Okay, so let me show you NetLocal. Let me close it down and open it again. This is a small little piece of software, so you could access it online. And they have a web version. So just go to the web version. This is the executable version that you'd run on a PC or on a Mac. So, and then in here you've got their online version. Just a little bit clunkier and slower. If you do have a PC, you might as well, and you have admin rights to load the software, then you might as well use it. Okay. So you get different categories. So there are models here. You don't have to write everything from scratch. There are models here that you can adapt. And they're categorized under different things. And I'll be able to show it to you a lot better, but let's just run a quick model once off online. So, I've just picked one at random. So to learn about it, you can go to the model info. Okay, and then you find that this model demonstrates kinetics of simple reverse, so it's chemistry. Oh, that's interesting. I might start bringing these things into our chemistry classes. And then how to use it. Choose the values of the appropriate sliders, or KB and KU, possibly some chemicals that we should know from the periodic table. And okay, well, you all set up. Okay, so these are the chemicals. We've set them up, and maybe they're in a beaker, and you can change the number of them involved, and you can change the ratio. Two different chemicals, and you can hit go. Okay, and a bit of chemistry reaction goes on, and it probably reached steady state. Do that in full screen as it develops across the screen, and so on. You get the idea. Maybe it will be okay to work in online, but we're definitely going to be wanting adapting the code of what I'm going to show you to COVID-19. So I'm going to load it on my own machine here. So this is the executable version. It starts off with a little box here like this. Okay, and you have a command center, and you can start learning about what code is, but don't even bother. It doesn't matter if you don't know any code at all. let's go to the models library, which is exactly where we were. But I think it's laid out a little bit better here now. We can quickly decide that we're looking for disease. Disease epidemiological. This model simulates the spread of an infectious disease in a closed population. It's an introduction model to the circular unit called epidemiology. Okay, let's go to this one. So I'm not too sure now what might suit, but definitely not that one. This one maybe. I might find something in biology. Let's just go to biology. Or I think there's a medical section. Now let's run the first of those, the basic one here. It's a bit like it's very like a browser in that you can just do Control plus and minus to change the size. Let's set up a world. Some people have a disease. Let's call it COVID-19, and there's a recovery chance. Well, okay, you know, we can just live in a fantasy world here. You know, your recovery chance is very, very, very high in the case of COVID, and we will need to. I'll just double click on that. I'll just how do I do this again? I'll just edit this and I'll change the increment level to 1. Because we want to, and maybe even lower again. So that will allow me to get up to saying that 98% of people recover. Now, whereas it's highly infectious, so let's make it spread. As you meet someone, it's quite likely they get it, so we can change that. And average recovery time. Now we'd have to decide then, do we need to build in, can we look at the code and increase extra dynamics that will put in things like closing pubs or the various different effects, like let's say we all do meet each other but we all wash our hands and we never touch our faces and so on, then that can be an overriding factor that means that the amount of mixing doesn't really matter. So I think we could increase the complexity of this to make it otherwise you won't be doing a project. So you let it run, and two things can happen. One thing is can die out if the R value is less than 1, or if we change the recovery rate and set it up again, we can see Armageddon, like it's just pure extinction, maybe not. Let's see again, infection chance 80%. Well, luckily the species recovered in that case. Infection chance can go down, or recovery chance can go up. And if you're infectious, say for 100 days, well, let's say you're only infectious for a short number of days. Or sorry, I'm kind of putting in factors that are fighting against each other. Let's make this a very bad disease. So the average recovery time could be very high. The recovery chance could be very low during that. So if you don't recover after 300 days, you've only a fifth of a chance of recovering, say after, maybe I haven't looked at the code, but I'm imagining you've only a fifth of a chance of recovering after 300 days, and then the next 300 days, that recovery probability doesn't have a memory, so you have another fifth of a chance, and so on. Infection chance, then let's say you're highly likely to infect other people, and the initial number of people infected, it normally doesn't matter, because it's going to get to this stage anyway. It doesn't make any difference to the result normally. And it's really, really low, and just luckily it dies out. But that probably doesn't make any difference. So now here we see, I expect to see okay, there's something at play in there. Look at it's still saying what the reproduction number is 4.3. So we worry about the code later on. There's the code. And you can go in and change this, and it isn't. It might look a bit intimidating at the beginning, but each of these are different. Different. It's a modular code, so is really a called upon module. And I know a bit of code. I'm not brilliant on it, and in supporting you, I'd like to get to know a bit myself. But you'll be the main runners. Globals then are the various parameters that are set at the beginning, and the info tells you about it, and I haven't time to read that now. I just want to give you an idea. That should have whet your appetite. But the info certainly will tell you what all the different things are, and that's really what you want to be studying. And this is also probably available online, so I can just give you a link to it. I can also just copy that code, all that text there, and send it to you, as the case may be. But it's a bit futile as opposed to it's already here. You can go and look at it. So I think we could do a really nice model of with this, or maybe a more advanced one of COVID-19. And it's a school project. It doesn't have to be. We're not trying to solve anything. We're just trying to get an idea of how epidemiology, how disease spreads, and it's certainly very contextual at the moment, very of great interest. Okay, so that's a 10-minute video, a bit long, but I hope gives you an idea of a very, very interesting project. By the way, tons of data comes out of this. You can capture data, and I'm only showing you this. I'm only showing you the gamification area. There's a background where you get a huge amount of a data file coming out, and you use that data file then in spreadsheets and create reports and so on. Very nice project.